Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of Warships. It's one of my replays and I'm in the Schlieffen, a tier 10 German battleship. I'm on map Sea of Fortune. It's a 3-point nomination game. Tier 10 battle with a few tier 8s mixed in. And, well, also a few tier 9s I suppose. I got a very good hit into this shimmer, so I'm pretty pleased with that start. I'm also turning away. There's probably going to be some fish here. Now I could hydro. But the thing is that Shimmer was close to the edge of its torpedo range. Well, assuming it's using the 12 kilometers. If it's using the 20s, they are relatively easily spotted and dodged usually. So, assuming it's using the 12s, I'm gonna be out of range just by sailing away a bit. Now, meanwhile, we have an enemy radar cruiser here coming in. I might be able to get a few shots off, and I'm not actually getting detected even while shooting here. Now, we might not have spotted all the enemies just yet, but it doesn't look like the enemy has... well, there's the Massachusetts and the Minnesota, and they are getting closer, so the enemy's presence here is increasing. Let's put it like this. Still trying to get some shots into the enemy cruiser there. Of course, since I've been undetected a little bit earlier, it would indicate that there isn't an enemy destroyer pushing this flank. Also, I mean... wait, did we see an enemy DD yet? On the other side? Well, the enemy lost their scent. And they had somebody capture B. So, it's unlikely that there is a destroyer here on the flank. I also wasn't detected earlier, although my concealment is pretty good. Which means I'm pretty confident that I'm not getting talked here. And which also means I'm pretty confident being on this side here, because there's probably nothing here to keep me spotted, which makes it a lot easier here to drop in the concealment here again. And allows me to be a lot more aggressive. Now the enemy cruiser here is going to try to talk through this gap, but he shouldn't really have the angle to be that problematic if I just keep going behind this island. Yeah, exactly. Just really didn't have the angle. I'm launching some torpedoes. I assume he isn't just gonna sail here full broadside, but we'll never know what maneuvering he does. My torpedoes are relatively long range and slow, which means there is always a chance that in the future he runs into those. Now meanwhile, we have not yet gotten a camp, but we are a ship ahead. And we are contesting 2 currently. Now with the enemy radar in retreat, we should be able to grab C. Also, I mean, keep in mind, this is one of the Pan Americans. Unless he triggers his special consumable, his radar is going to be on a very long cooldown. Assuming he actually used it at some point. So, oh, the Heathen Young has been found, and it's curiously positioned very aggressively on our side. My secondaries are trying to get a few shells towards it. Don't think okay, it's dead anyway. I was just saying I don't think I'll have shots from here with my main guns, but it didn't matter. Viper got this. Now, I am not going to be pushing in here, I suppose, because there is... well, there is still the Shimmer somewhere that would likely talk me if I go in. Santander could talk me if I went in. And there is a Minnesota, a Massachusetts, and a Sherbrooke ready to shoot me. Schlieffen is not the most tanky ship around, but I mean, even if you're wearing something a bit more tanky, that's a lot of firepower coming your way. And there is really no reason for a push right now. We do have 2 camps. Our other flank technically has the ships, although they seem to be a bit passive there. We are even taking a 3rd cap right now. So currently we are equal on ships. We just wanna let them come. Oh, hello, Iggy. Basically, we just want to let the enemy come to us. So nicely enough, the Iggy has actually reversed here, which allows me to get out of its way, and then the Eagle can continue its path, right? There are unfortunately sometimes ships who, when they collide like this, they just keep going forward full speed, which only, like, wedges you together and makes things complicated for everyone for no reason. Now, unfortunately, this Eagle is taking a bit of a beating, so it's... keep sailing broadside though. Now, the Aegir should really be turning away at this point, honestly. I'm not sure why it's keeping on that course. I mean, it's also a ship with a reasonable range, I mean, yes, the enemies aren't that close, but it could be a little bit further away, right? At the very least, what it wants you to do is angle. It just keeps going like this. So it was very polite to reverse there once after we collided, but it really needs to work on its... Why is it torpedoing? Okay, the Santander was relatively close, and it does have 6-kilometer torpedoes. It probably somewhat reaches that island. So maybe it thinks the... Also, are those widespread shimmer too? Wait, is it a 20-kilometer shimmer after all? So, I mean, the Eagle is still not trying to angle in any way of... But, I have a bad feeling about our Eagle Survivor. So... The shimmer was actually in 12-kilometer range, right? So these troops... We will see if they run out soon. I think they ran out. Let me... Damn it. Okay. Like, using the camera is... Okay, they haven't run out. I tried to unlock the camera and look around. The problem is that the replays are not very well designed. And the camera just sometimes, even if you take manual control, sometimes the game overrides you and does weird stuff. Or zooms you in. Not like, let's just say controls in this game are not very well designed. Anyway, so there might actually be longer range torpedoes. Not that it matters that much, I suppose. The shimmer is using widespread, so it's probably not a threat to anyone. No matter what fish it carries. At least, not right now. Meanwhile, the enemy cruiser is in secondary range, and the primary guns also decided to hit, so that's nice. Of course, you know, if I get close enough, then just the amount of fish the shimmer can put out is going to be a threat. And I am getting closer now. We are in the lead. It's looking somewhat reasonable. Our wing. There is the shimmer again. There is more fish. So this time I'm gonna pop a hydro here. Because this is only one launcher and there are probably more. I got a citadel, that's lovely. I'm also sailing into a crossfire, which is a bit questionable. Of course, there isn't much way to avoid this at this point. Like, if I angle more against the Massachusetts, I'm gonna show broadside to the Minnesota. Also, I'd show broadside to that smoke screen, which is even more problematic. So my course is kinda locked in. Now I just need to get behind this island to stop the Massachusetts from being too much of a problem. And I probably need to damage those two fires. Now the Minnesota is going down. That's good news. The Massachusetts is behind an island now. And I live. For now. For now. Now, from what I've seen about this shimmer so far, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just waiting inside its smoke screen. Didn't even try to get out of the way, use this smoke screen to disengage or anything. It was just waiting for me, which is appreciated. Now I need 2 more for a Kraken. There are technically 4 more ships around, although I doubt we're gonna ever see the carrier. The Massachusetts and the Cherbourg though are pretty close. Not that I'm the most healthy ship around. So, we'll see. Now if this Cherbourg would stop going forward, I could even come around and torpedo it. Speaking of torpedoing stuff, I could try to torpedo Massachusetts, or, you know. Guns and secondaries might also... Like, it's not the healthiest anymore. Well, neither am I. You know, there is no guarantee that I'll survive, and it got a double fire, which I'm gonna damage come. But our victory is not in doubt. It's just, do I get the Kraken or not? Massachusetts is low, and come on, secondaries. Oh, I'm already focusing on the Cherbourg because I'm greedy. But there won't be time to get the Cherbourg, unfortunately. Oh, the Kraken didn't happen, but the battle in itself was a fun one. I got some brawling done. I did not snack on fish, and yeah, that was a good battle. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you next time.